It's one of those things where the wards normally fall off in the late game, but that's going to basically mean they're actually still relevant in the late game. Not to mention, they're you get to level 25 a lot faster. So with the faster level 25s, it's like, well, suddenly these plague wards are a threat at all stages of the game.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, also EG are going to go back for the Slardar, and that does lead us to a Drow Ranger for Wings Gaming, a hero that I don't think was touched in terms of picks or bandits in the last one.
5 seconds remaining.
Is it a little bit scary, though, taking this Drow into a hero like Slardar who just wants to get on top of you?
Reserve time.
It's definitely risky, but that's where they probably feel like the IO gives them some good defensive support to actually help the Drow out a bit. They'll also make sure they pick like a good frontliner in one of their other cores to make sure that getting to the Drow is going to be tricky. So Wings know what's kind of coming at them with the Slardar at least, and they can look to adjust accordingly.
And the Storm Spirit band out as well. No real surprise there. We saw what SC can do on that earlier on tonight when... Actually, I think it was yesterday at this point when he played that going up against DC. Very terrifying hero indeed. I guess the other hero that you got to think about a little bit is Visage for Evil Geniuses. Do they need to ban that out at this point, or could they potentially pick it up themselves?
They beat the last game, I guess, so they're perhaps thinking it's not as scary as maybe it maybe seems with the buffs, but we'll see. It does make, I think it makes Wings lanes kind of, it's kind of, to me, IO Visage plus Drow just seems a bit weird as like a trio of heroes. Like you have two supports who have limited early game presence. You have no heroes with any rotating / gank potential. Unless you're talking about like IO hitting level 6 with relocate, but even then he doesn't initiate. He needs someone else to actually start the fight. So having those three heroes with no initiation and lack of lockdown team fighting control could be a bit of a weak point to me, but it's still like, I mean, Visage is just, yeah, he's insane now with the buffs, and with Drow it's even better, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see where they have to go, definitely. Other little interesting note here is we do have Zai drafting. Think there's anything to read into there? The fact that they've decided to switch over to him being the one that's actually hitting the buttons?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't make any big. At least personally speaking, I don't know anything about the inner workings there, but I think it's probably just like we're in a new patch. Who knows what we want to do? Just Zai go draft. The team. I don't think it's a response to like losing at the major, for example, that they've changed drafter for now.
Yeah. And I guess that's always been the thing that we've been seeing with EG is that it's a very communal effort figuring out what it is that everybody's going to go for. So I figured it'd be something to talk about since it's a little bit of a variation from what we had before.
Yeah.
Clockwork?
Here's a good duo with Daxia Slatter. We've seen this dual lane a lot in the off lane, or sometimes Slatter will start in the safe lane and then TP bottom later on around that level, like 2, level 3 for himself, and when Daxia hits like level 5, you put an Angel on Slatter, you can even surge him in for the crush. He gets right up in Drow's face and makes it very hard to play against.
5 seconds remaining.
This combo, very deadly. And I talked about it earlier, but I'll mention it again, that we've seen some of those sort of 4-position Slardars in the past be able to get really fast Blink Daggers on this patch. Just the mixture of being able to run around, pick up bounty runes, as well as get involved in kills. It's a scary sight. Considering that we do have what we're assuming to be a Darkseer Slardar lane, does that give you any more inclination as to what role you want the Venomancer to fill in here? Is it possible to still run him as a 4-position support?
Yeah, it's more likely that we see the like 5-position Veno, I want to say, or even safe lane farming Veno works as long as you get to mail on like a carry-oriented mid like the TA again. So it's possible to run the safe lane Veno. It's a decent pushing hero. You get like the Darkseer Slatter. Darkseer can get himself obviously get the fast mech, get the Crimson Guard if you want that against the Drow strat, but it does limit your ability to scale late game if you have Darkseer and Veno as 2 of your 3 cores, neither of which necessarily go amazingly well late game in terms of damage. I mean, Veno magic damage wise does, less so in terms of physical damage.
Yeah. Maybe they just go like Chen Pugna. Okay, no.
Ooh. I mean, this is like all the Darkseer combos are being picked up. You've got the Iron Shell and the Earth Spirit. You got the Iron Shell and the Slatter. Is this even a safe lane Slatter now? Like, I honestly don't really know what EG are doing or thinking here. Just it could be any number of different things.
I mean, Wings feel like they have a very clear plan as to what they're trying to do. That's for sure. You got the minus armor, you got the Drow Ranger, Io's there to keep everybody alive. Earth Spirit, it's just like, oh my god. Okay.
Oh yeah, everyone, you thought he was gone. You thought he was gone. I mean, a hero that didn't get changed balance-wise outside of the talents being added. So, let me see. Where are his talents? He gets HP and or movement speed at level 10,
remaining.
damage or life steal at level 15. That's kind of cool. Strength or attack speed at level 20, attack range or life break cast range at level 25. Okay, nothing that stands out as being insane, but like I'd say middle tier talents. It seems
they knew they were going to do this from the very start. They banned out that axe first phase.
Yeah, that's a good point. They definitely had it on their minds.
Oh my goodness. Well, how does this change things for you? We have this lineup from the Wings Gaming that really know they want to hit hard. Do EG have enough of the outspam to deal with this and hold high ground if the push starts to come that early?
10 seconds.
Venom Ward's not bad for defending. I mean, they've also got the vacuum into Slardar Crush, so there's good synergy and team fight coming out from these two heroes. Wings really need that last pick to bring it together in terms of some kind of a team fight or initiation. We'll see what that's going to be. Basically, they need the Faith Beyond hero to around and Faith Beyond some people, but yeah, EG. I mean, they've got all right, like a lineup to maybe deal with the Husker. You haven't seen their last pick yet, which is going to be
10 seconds
an Arteezy or Sumail hero. So we'll see what they get against the Husker. No Naga. I think Wings are just like, let's not get into a split push game where we have 0 heroes to deal with Naga illusions. You could go like a Terrorblade. You could go into what else? Maybe some other kind of. I mean, Terrorblade is an illusion hero, so definitely illusions and split push kind of stand out as being kind of difficult to deal with this game.
Does something like a Tinker work at all? Is that a possibility? Ooh, Faith Beyond Earthshaker.
Tinker's all right. You want to hear that split pushes more is kind of at least my read on this, because Husker and Drow don't push, like none of these heroes push lanes out. You look at Wings and you think, how do they outpush their lanes? There's nothing. Drow Ranger click is the best thing they have to push lanes out. Fissure is like not great either. So you see that draft and you think they can't push out lanes. That's where you want to pick like a Morphling or a Terrorblade, something that I think Morphling's maybe like the better option, where you just push out a lane and if Wings 5-man to push, you threaten to counter push with a Morphling. So having like a strong pushing hero to me is key for EG's last pick.
Well, and we'll see what that ends up being. A good amount of options still on the table. You mentioned the Terrorblade. I wouldn't mind seeing that one at all. And I don't know. It's kind of a tough one, though, because you also have this weird matchup. Like, Huskar is going mid, right? Or do you think that it might end up being Drow?
Could be Drow. Depending on if EG's contesting that bot lane, they may think that Huskar's better suited to being in like a try-v-try, but we'll see. They may even try and dodge the aggressive lane and send like Earthshaker bottom and have like a Drow Io in the off lane, Husker Dazzle mid or something weird. I don't know. Wings are going to be looking to make sure they don't lose the laning stage with however they set things up.
Yeah.
They don't want to get overrun. They want the Drow to have the easiest lane possible. That to me is the key thing. Find the lane where Drow is not going to get bullied too much. Well, there's the Sumail hero, but Sonic Wave pure damage against the Huskers, it's like all right. I think more importantly, Queen of Pain's a hero that can use her mobility to get to the backlines, kill off the supports, the Io, the Dazzle, squishy supports, heroes that will keep the Husker alive, and this means you can ignore the Husker and get those supports.
You can definitely see the idea there. I mean, it's. I'm not gonna lie, Quap hasn't had the best record recently, and I can't say that I love the pick, but there's definitely a clear idea there. Do you like this in this context, or do you think they were just already in a really tough spot, or what's your read?
Quap got some sick talent, so I mean, I think Quap's one of the heroes that didn't get any of her spells buff, but with her talent tree, she has a lot more potential in the current metagame, and just having her mobility, I think, and also with the shrines around that mid lane means she can fight, trade blows, blink to the shrine, then get right back to the mid lane. So I think she's one of the heroes that benefits a lot from the map changes and also from the talents more than other heroes. So it's also one of Sumail's classic best heroes. So I like seeing Sumail in a hero like Quap, even if Quap isn't like well, at least didn't used to be amazing. I think Quap is a lot better now than she used to be.
Well, I've seen a couple of really neat builds with Quap. Again, you're talking about it with the talent tree. You get the 70% lifesteal and a blade mail with Octarine core. And anything that doesn't one-shot you heals you every time you take damage when blade mail is on, which is kind of a cool little thing. You have like, I don't remember how much exactly it is, 95 lifesteal, something in that range. It's absurd.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And with with the Octarine, that blade mail's got a pretty damn short cooldown. So, he's smoke. Hello.
Found him. Right click's coming in. They got the ion shell there. If they're going to be able to get into range for the stun, a little bit off the mark there for Zai. There is a lot of lag going on, so I'm going to try a real quick reconnect, and hopefully we don't miss anything here. I don't think we will.
Even with the nerf drow movement speed getting away, and Wings immediately respond by bringing all their team down bottom. They want to secure their bounty runes, you know. Me. Yeah, they don't block her Spirit's rollout. So he rolls away, he gets out safely. And both teams will get all their bounty runes. It will be a bounty rune advantage going. EG get 3 of the 4 bounty runes. Not too big a deal, but definitely something worth noting.
Yeah. Well, it does look like they're going to be sticking the Huskar into the mid lane for the moment. Earthshaker there to help out a little bit.
Sumail gets so lucky. There was like 2 uphill misses from the Huskar there. There's some RNG for that, like level 1, like you would have been harassed down to like below half HP if those 2 right clicks hit.
This is going to be, you talk about having a nice lane here bottom. It definitely feels like Drow Ranger, at least for a while, is going to be well protected. But EG trying to get aggressive. We talked about this Darkseer Slardar lane. How do you feel like this stands up against the tri lane?
To me, it's a lane that isn't that strong at level 1, which is why I normally like to, like, that's where we saw Newbie run this earlier today, and they started. They started the Darkseer in the jungle and the Slardar in the safe lane, and then they waited till Darkseer hit like level 4, level 5 before they dual laned it. And I think this lane's actually quite weak against the tri lane because they need levels, but they're going to tri lane themselves. So that's how you make up for it.
Nicely played there, yeah, making it work, and well, they're able to find another kill. There's just going to be a jump away by Darkseer, and it looks like they're going to be fine for the moment. Top lane, kind of an interesting look here as Faith Beyond facing off against Arteezy, but a lot of damage with the Enchant Totem build.
He's just using that to one-shot the wards. Kind of cheeky little thing you can do. Doesn't cost you too much mana, and he'll fall back, grab his bounty rune. But yeah, I like I mean, for EG, as mentioned, like that 2v3 lane bottom is a struggle. They're going to roll in mid. They want Huskar.
More right clicks, but there's the Io there immediately. Crush is going to come through onto 2. Do they have enough to regen him back up? Still only level 1 for Io, so we can't actually give him any regen. He doesn't have any regen to speak of anyways, and, well, they are just going to be able to walk away with the Huskar, and now Chao P in a little bit of trouble as well. Well, okay, no, Huskar does go down. But Clint Eastwood, Sumail trying to find the kill into Faith Beyond. Misses uphill. Blink up to the high ground. Is going to be able to find that one. Oh, my God.
Oh, he had the vision from the ward. Oh, and then he pauses afterwards.
All right.
He pauses. Sumail DCs. What's going on in this game? What's happening, Lyrical?
I have no idea. I had to get out of this one. Everything is breaking.
That felt like the NEL moment where, like, you know, you just killed Sumail. Like, let's pause the game. Like, what now, Sumail? And then Sumail's like, I'm out of here. I'm DCing. What is this bad manner? This game, the lag, the DCs, the bugs. This game's got definitely some entertainment value going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Io, I was like, how did he get that hit? He had an observer ward to see Sumail on that high ground. Some nice little pickups there as Io gets it up, and Dota's not loading apparently now.
Oh, poor Chao P. Well, Sumail got knocked out of the damn game. And Io's the one that ends up being the beneficiary. He's level 3 currently. So that's
a big...
Can you break down a little bit? Because it went all kinds of choppy for me there at the end. So I saw Sumail jump to the high ground.
Yeah, so... Well, before that, they did kill the Huskar. Like, Huskar escaped, but he died to the last Shadow Poison... Shadow Strike tick. At least I think it was the last one. I don't know. It was level 2 Shadow Strike, so he died like way back at his tier 2 tower. Sumail blinked to the high ground where the Ancients are to finish off the Earthshaker, who almost made a nice play and juked him, but he killed the Earthshaker with like 1 HP left, and then the Io from the low ground killed him with a right click. So nice bit of play from both sides, and the end result is, as you kind of mentioned, Io very high level. Only this is a hero that doesn't get a kill like that. Also has 900 gold, so we'll see. Yeah, some nice income going his way.
Is there anything you can do with that at these early levels for Io? We did see a bottle snipe, by the way, and I believe that was Io's. So another 40 seconds without it.
Oh, so he's got 900 gold with bottle. I was thinking
Yeah.
like, oh, he lost his courier. But I was thinking just like he hadn't bought his bottle. But yeah, he may actually have. Is he that farmed?
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, he's got 1,500 net worth. He's the most farmed hero on the Radiant freaking team right now. What the hell, man?
And he's got the mid
bottle
lane.
and 900. Yeah, it's not exactly good. This is a hero that doesn't use gold well in the early game. He buys a headdress, which is just like a casual like. He buys 2 salves. Like, what do you actually do as an IO with gold in the early game? Like next to nothing. That hero just doesn't do much with gold.
I think he sent
He gets his
Huskar to
salves
the
brought to
jungle
him,
and buy
but-
an armlet. That's the play, for sure.
Yeah. We'll see. He's gonna linger around this mid lane, see if any pressure goes onto Blink's Husker. But as it stands, this laning stage looks still pretty decent for EG. They're farming all 3 cores. They got the early first blood at bottom. That brawl at mid went pretty well for Sumail until he somehow got found, but he can't really lane all too well against this Husker now. We see him come back in, he gets spammed out, goes to his shrine, says, give me some cleansing juices here. But this Husker's going to be problematic for him. They're going to have to keep rotating people to help him.
And in the meantime, you do have the Slardar and the Earth Spirit. This is something that we saw before, was trying to just farm up this medium camp consistently. I wonder if this is sort of a thing that they're trying to abuse, like we see with the TA taking out the Ancients here, because they just go to the shrine afterwards and then heal up. Kind of a unique little way to play it.
Yeah, it's a nice, useful camp to have there for an offlaner. Like, it means if you've got like some kind of farming skill for neutrals, you've always got not just it used to be in the past you had the one big camp which was really far away from the lane. Now you've got that big camp and the medium camp which is really close to your tower. So the fact that medium camp is there and close to your tower, I mean, it's made the offlane even easier. Like that's been a going trend. Like, let's just keep making this offlane more and more playable, and well, that's what we kind of see there from that medium camp farm. Ice is going to get rolled on at his shrine.
Oh, nice little play there. Io going to come in, try and help out his buddy a little bit. No, they're both in the area now, but too much regen. They're not going to be able to take any kills. EG denied.
And they used their shrine there, so it was like, wait a second, these guys are healing way too much, but that was as a result of the shrine action.
Not this time.
No.
Oh, it's easy trapped here.
Oh, okay. Faith Beyond making plays happen, and they do bring in Ice. The right clicks are coming in as well with Starving, and that is going to be a kill on the Venomancer. Dropping down just a bit too far out.
Yeah, good fissure. He made the call like, hey team, I've got this fissure. I'm going to block him in, like TP in, and they shrine up immediately. So Faith Beyond is full HP, full mana again. He's going to keep on farming. He's done very well as an offlane Earthshaker.
Now going to try and run down Sumail a little bit. The right clicks are there, and only 1 stack of the burning spears, and regen rune is going to mean that Clop can go back into it again as well.
It's still EG. I mean, same thing as last game where they've got 2 supports who are kind of really poor, but their cores are doing very well. All 3 kind of top of the net worth. Drow has been put under a lot of pressure, hasn't been able to farm all too well down here, and they're even under risk of losing this tower very early on.
Oh, Fissure, Gust, right clicks, they have the Poison Touch, in some trouble. No, they're not going to be able to get the Earth Spirit, and, well, Darkseer just saunters away as well.
It's like wasted kind of time in a lot of ways too when things like that happen. You bring in 4 heroes going for that kill, you don't get the kill. It's an Earthshaker who could have just been lingering around top, continuing to farm and get XP, but you make that move, you need to find the kill, and that's a big loss for Wings as far as this. So this early game seems really bad for them. They're getting very little in terms of farm. EG are playing the efficiency game again. They've got Veno in the jungle. Veno's like playing the TA role from last game where he's just going to like sit in the jungle, farm up his items before he kind of rolls on out. Looks like he wants to just rush a Veil this game and have that early game bonus armor and magic damage amplification.
Well, it's...
Actually, Sumail's got a Veil. They can double Veil. I'd be surprised, but why not, I guess.
That
Yeah,
is a little bit... Does there
they're
anything
both
you
gun
lose
Veil.
with that?
Is there any what, sorry?
I mean, is that feels to me like it'd be kind of inefficient. Is that something that's still pretty viable, or?
It's definitely a little inefficient, but in theory it just means the heroes... I mean, the item is very stat efficient.
Okay.
Obviously, the spell itself is not efficient to get more than one of. But the nice thing is, these heroes are not always going to be together. We may have Venno on one side of the map, Queen of Pain going around looking for kills elsewhere, so it just means EG, they're not looking to play as 5 as much, perhaps, is what it suggests. Or it suggests they just haven't talked and communicated about items, but that's obviously the much less likely one.
Yeah.
Teams generally at least know what they're doing here.
Faith Beyond. He just walks in and echo slams him. Like
okay. Casual. That was so casual. I just see him walking up. I'm like, is Slider gonna move? No, I'm pretty sure he's gonna die. Yeah, he died.
Alright. That's just Faith Beyond, you know? He does these things sometimes. So, well played. And that is definitely going to help them out. At least at this, so far what we've seen in this game, how are you feeling about both teams in this early stages? Are either team feeling particularly more happy with their stage of the game?
Yeah, EG's way better off. Like even with, I mean, Wings are up on kills, but the net worth is terribly one-sided right now, and if they get these kills at top, this is looking really bad for Wings.
Venno pretty low, but it looks like they're just going to end up taking down both regardless. And now Huskar trying to show up. Can they find anything off the back of this? It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Rolling in again onto Huskar, and a double kill for that Darkseer. Looking for a bit more. Surge forward. Ice in trouble. Crushed and triple kill for the Darkseer. My God.
Yeah, that's not good. That's worrying. That's very worrying. So, I mean, EG gonna get... This is like, EG just... I mean, they've got a huge farm advantage, but they didn't even have their items on their heroes. Now they're gonna have the Veils out. They do need to get out. They've maybe overstayed their welcome here.
Oh, Chow P! They're gonna be able to run him down? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, they get out, so... It is double Veils. That's kind of mentioned, very stat efficient item. 6 HP regen, it gives armor HP regen, stats across the board, a lot of int. For Queen of Pain obviously benefits a lot from the int. Venno, it's fine. Venno actually has Martin problems as well when you're not going like Arcane Boots or something, so yeah, no real reason like that it's a good item for the stats alone.
I guess also it's really great for like farming up these camps, so if later on in the game Arteezy can just drop a Veil and, you know, push out one wave with one Gale if they want to, and similarly Queen of Pain can do that type of thing with, you know, Scream of Pain. Is it worth it to think about going for something like an Aghanims in this game for Queen of Pain? Obviously having the Lotus Orb queued up, or Lincoln Sphere queued up, but what are your thoughts?
No, it's decent for pushing out the lanes. Like we talked about how split push can be very powerful against Wings who want a 5-man. It's like if you want to beat a draft with a Drow Husker, like with the supporting healers, you want to be able to out farm them, use the map better, and take more resources on the map. And that's where having an Axe means you just spam out lanes. You can defend pushes very well, but we'll see what the call's going to be.
Oh well, top lane they have found the IO and the Earthshaker again. Faith Beyond getting up close and personal with everybody, and now the Huskar has shown up as well. They could think about going a bit further for this. Fissure is up and online. Looks like they want to try and get
Male has a TP. He's ready to perhaps rotate in if they get too aggressive.
Okay, I mean, they're getting very aggressive, and they block off the IO. All right, there's going to be the jump away, but they might be able to bring it down regardless. There's the Echo Sam, is able to kill off the Earth Spirit, and now the wall drop connecting onto 3. The Shallow Grave is there, as well as the Venno ulti, and they might just end up dying in Fountain. We'll keep our eyes on that IO's HP, dropping very low, but the Fountain regen's going to keep him alive. Not the same for the Dazzle, though. He does die. IO, my God, he dropped super low.
And that was just an Earth Spirit kill for Wings, and that's one of the lower level heroes to kill. In fact, the lowest on this dire side, so not really the outcome they were hoping for. EG were just ready. They had the Queen of Pain with an Arcane rotating in, and once the Venno and the Queen of Pain rock up that fight, there was no real easy way for Wings to approach it or take it. They just don't have the necessary levels or items right now. Like they're heavily underfarmed. Husker has not even completed an armlet. Drow is just sitting with the casual treads, Helm of the Dominator. nothing too much to speak of there. They're not ready to fight EG at all. EG have a big item advantage now. They've already got the mech up. They're working on a Greaves on Universe's Darkseer, so things are looking really sweet for EG right now.
And I mean, particularly when you consider the type of draft they're trying to do here. I mean, I guess that there's the idea, is this something that you can take it later than you might have been able to otherwise? It's something where maybe traditionally you would expect this lineup to be wanting to hit early, but maybe it can go later?
I think you could go later if you had farm on your cores, which just isn't really the case right now. So I'd say they're not going to go well late game. They really want to start taking towers. They've taken 0 towers at 12 minutes with this draft. That's a worrying thought. They're trying to work and pressure some of them, but they're getting picked apart now.
God. Yeah, this definitely does not feel like the same wings that we were seeing back at TI6. It's feeling very different. Maybe it's just not comfortable with the current patch or a little bit of miscommunications, but EG looking very, very strong in this one. As far as sort of next steps for them, is it just go straight on into Roshan, or do you think you can sort of slow play it here for EG?
Seems like they're kind of slow playing it a bit. They've got Venno back in the jungle. He's stacking Ancients. He's just farming with the Plague Wards. I've seen a lot of Vennos just play on this cliff, on this little plateau where he is now, where you can farm the Ancients. You can even pull the big camp right above you. And this is just like efficiency play coming out from Arteezy. He's not gone Midas, but he's top of the net worth. He's just farming the jungle, farming the lanes. Has a Dragon Lance even. He's even transitioning into like some physical damage at this point. This is a worrying thought to try and contest this Venno, who's already... And farm aside, he's level 13. Husker is level 9.
Yeah. God. Oh man, that is scary when you start putting it into that context. Now the plus side is that we do have, if you're Wings fans, there's a Blink Dagger up on Earthshaker, who is just going to Echo Slam the Slardar, and well, the combo comes through. They are going to be able to go for the crush. He's actually just walking away from this one. Slardar sprinting out, max movement speed, and the TP away from the low ground. They're not going to be able to get him. Oh, that hurts, and now the relocate back. They're going to end up losing the IO as well. Wings Gaming, from bad to worse, just catastrophic things going down for him in the jungle.
Yeah, and you know that Echo's on cooldown, so you can pretty safely push this mid lane. It's 2 more minutes without it, and Husker's actually been clipped, so this could be a risky position for Wings. They just need to Fissure and try to get out.
Yeah, well, there's the stun coming in from the Earthshaker. Can they stop this vacuum onto 2? But they don't want to dive, just taking the tier 1 tower, and patience, composure being shown by EG.
Yeah, and there was no composure there shown by Wings. They glyph after the tower goes down, so they just threw away a glyph as well. Like, you know, that's the kind of mistakes which you just like don't want to see. Like that's where you know like they're getting a bit tilted and stuff. It is just early days in the new patch and stuff, so it's not like this is not the time to start worrying about where this team's at. A loss in this tournament when you're on a brand new fresh patch doesn't really mean a whole lot, but a win does mean something. It means you're like adapting much faster. I mean, you're versing, like these are both world-class teams, so it does show that EG are in a good place with this new patch.
Yeah, that's definitely encouraging. I mean, I don't think that there was many people that were worried about him even after the Boston showing. There's some problems closing out series against OG. I mean, if you lose to OG, that's nothing to be ashamed of, certainly, but I think that it just made them probably a bit hungrier for the win here and looking so solid through the 2 games. Is there anything that you're seeing here that you could potentially, you know, get some film on EG with and maybe exploit in the later stages of this tournament if they do end up, you know, taking this one, or possibly something that Wings could exploit right now?
They're focusing on the laning stage, I guess. It seems it's a different, like we saw Newbie 2-0 DC earlier, but they were more focused on like the group up as 5, the team aspect, but EG is much more about, win the lanes and then use that to get a big advantage. Once you've won the lanes, they play the farming game. So it's like this, win lanes and then transition into a farming efficiency type game. So right now, I mean, the lanes being won as high as they were by EG is what's kind of set Wings back so far. Like there's no farm on the Drow or on the Husker because those lanes were just a disaster.
A rough start and a rough game so far indeed. I am currently reconnecting again to the server, and it looks like there's some pressure being mounted. Relocate down to the bottom lane. They're going to jump forward, all grouped up together, a 3-person stun, and again, it's just looking like they're going to be able to walk away from this one. Guardian Greaves.
They killed the Quap at least, so it's not... It's at least something.
Well, Darkseer also potentially going to go down. Well, maybe feeding a little bit of Save Your Buddy syndrome. Can they get out of here? Zai still running, as is Happy Holidays. They have almost another fissure in a couple of seconds. No Blink Dagger as of yet. He's going to go back in for the crush, and well, they actually are just going to be able to walk away from that one. But Quap down.
Okay. I mean, that was a Echo Slam again being used. So he initiates with the Echo Slam and has the relocate to back him up. And unfortunately for Sumail, the Greaves were on cooldown for like 2 or 3 seconds when the initiation happened, so Darkseer couldn't heal him back up. And Quap didn't have the ability to get out, but it's just one of the 3 EG cores. They've still got the Venno farming at top in the jungle. Darkseer managed to stay it away, so it's not like a disastrous outcome for them, but it is still like the kind of pick-off that Wings need at this point.
Slardar is so quick. Any good talents that we've got that have started to come up. Level 15 hasn't been committed as of yet, it looks like.
I just got the cast range on the Venno.
Okay.
So you're going for 150 cast range. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
It's good for, yeah, most of us. Well, the Venno, the Gale and the Plague Ward, absolutely. I'm not sure, does that make the ultimate extend as well? I'm not really sure on that one.
I feel like it would be like Aether Lens, so probably not. But to be honest, I haven't seen it yet, so it's a possibility. That seems like that'd be absurd, because that's actually like an extra 300 range in both directions, or extra 150 in each direction as well.
Yeah. Works probably with the Hurricane Pike, where if you're saving a teammate, you can cast it from longer. So I believe most of the talent trees also apply to items. So yeah, I mean, Venno's in a good place. Quap, which level 14, so hasn't got that second talent just yet. We'll see where she goes. I want to say the cooldown reduction is like the better of the two. I've seen most Quaps so far go for the cooldown reduction.
Right.
As much, it's always tempting. You think gold per minute, like man, that's free money. Like you say no to free money, but then you think cooldown reduction on a hero with a blink. That's also absurd.
Oh, vacuum wall back onto 2, but there's the life break forward, able to force staff away. Ice Ice already dead, and well, relocating back and out. Okay.
Okay, that's well, rest in peace, Io. Spend your money, bro. Oh, I guess he's trying to farm a Ghost Scepter, so he won't get a chance to.
Yeah, that's a little bit sad. Yeah, pretty quick and easy death there. The rest of the side of EG just pile in, and both of the supports now down. Easy Roshan if they want to go for it, but looking to fight.
Yeah, they're thinking like, we want Roche, but if we can get a kill, we'll do that first, and Wings get the hell away from the pit. So yeah, easy Roche with the Slardar. This is, what, 2 games in a row now we've seen, well, a couple games we've seen the Slardar as well being used for this Roche advantage, so that's maybe another somewhat trend we're still seeing, even with the Roshan armor buffs. Slardar is still very good in killing Roche.
Oh, jump forward, nice scale, force staff, and oh, the fissure does come out, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to save, honestly. This is looking like a very dead Drow Ranger, and well, they got Shallow Grave from the high ground, don't end up using it. Ice Ice probably going to drop a nice Echo Slam, connecting onto 3, holy crap. Phaetheon suddenly turning it back around. Can they actually make this worth? That's already 3 dead, triple kill for the Huskar, trying to take down another. Venno is going to drop. That is the Aegis. Now, can they take down any more off the back of that? Queen of Pain jumps forward, wants to find this and get the kill. Arteezy trying to man up against him, and well, there's the Hurricane Pike keeping himself alive a little bit longer, and they aren't going to be able to survive through. It looks like that is going to be everybody dead. Another one
dead?
for the Huskar.
What? What's going on here, Lyrical? Jesus. Calm down, guys.
What the? Well, Echo Slams are still good spells.
Yeah, that's a well before team fight by Wings. When you take a 5 for 5 and well, really a 5 for 6 because there was an Aegis like on the Venno. That's a 5 for 6 trade when you're at this big of a disadvantage. Wings will take that. Absolutely, that was a big team fight. Huskar just found himself in a position to shine. They threw a lot of spells on the supports. Like the Dazzle was the one who kind of was. It felt like Ice Ice was out of position on Dazzle, but he soaked up a lot of spells in the initiation, and then Earthshaker just came in for the dunk. That was sweet.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess you can see right there a little bit of exuberance. You know, you can imagine after that, sort of the players taking a second, looking at each other, like, oh, maybe we should slow down a little bit. That's kind of insane. But does that change the status quo for you that much? It was 2,600 gold going into the Huskar's pocket. Is he going to be able to build off of that?
I mean, it evens things up a bit, but I still feel overall the status of this game is that the early game was meant to go better for Wings so that they could win the mid game by just 5-manning, and that hasn't worked. So already Wings are playing their draft not in the intended way, not to say they can't win with it, but I think they're at a bit of a disadvantage because of the fact that things started so poorly for them. And you look at EG, they're still well ahead in overall farm. Drow's not going to necessarily scale all too amazingly well. The Helm of the Dominator is one of those like team items that isn't like the same item it used to be as far as carries go, so we'll see what Wings can do. If they put together another big team fight around the Echo Slam, I mean, by all means, this game could even up very quickly, but they've got good heroes to play around the Earthshaker. You've got Earth Spirit who can kind of look to fight him and come in to counter-initiate. Venomant's a Plague Ward's very hard to fight into as an Earthshaker. And now Veno, he gets the magic resistance, so he wants to stay alive, be that frontline tank. We'll get an We'll silenced here in the front lines.
Fissure, God, he is really quick though. High movement speed, helping out with that Darkseer in the area. We'll see if Faith Beyond can find his initiation angle. Does have a Yule Scepter, so a little bit of extra vision by these wards might be able to keep EG from throwing anything back into the Wings' favor.
So yeah, it looks like they'll back off, but yeah, it's kind of, I guess you'd maybe expect the carry Venom to go for the attack damage, but given the way they're playing him where he's just on the front, often tanking it up, and he's reversing a Husker as well, so there's like magic damage all over the place. And the Earthshaker, so I think he feels like he can get a lot of value out of having the magic resistance. Considering his high HP pool, the magic resistance is really nice. Quop's level 18, so we'll see where she looks to go. If she goes into any kind of like a DPS build, the spell life seal, or you want to get the attack range, there's lots of different ways you can kind of try and play this one.
Yeah, and well, it does look like, at least for now, I mean, they do have to come and make some type of defense of the tier 1 tower. They are thinking like they want to fight. Io is there, keeping tethered up with the Huskar. The jump forward, vacuum wall on to 3. Is it going to be able to be a turnaround though? Not a great Echo Slam because they're all spread out at this point, and well, Huskar going for him. They aren't going to be able to do it. 2 are already dead. Drow Ranger gone, and well, Huskar is going to be graved, but also controlled. There's all of these stuns. Nice relocate out, and that might be enough to at least keep Wings alive for the moment, but still losing 4 after the Io comes back is going to be terrible.
He stops the team wipe, but it's still a 4-for-0. That's much more how you expected the team fights to go. Right? I'm still like kind of in shock about that last team fight where it was the 5-for-5. But I mean, when you prevent the Earthshaker from getting off the Echo Slam that he's looking for, if you get the better jump like we just saw from EG, fights go a whole lot better for them.
Absolutely. And I mean, Huskar, he's getting up there in terms of net worth, but they just have the tools with which to deal with them. And now getting ready to start pushing in towards another lane. There's a lot of buybacks, but they probably won't really need to be expended since respawn time still very low for Wings. And the lane's not
for EG, you're looking at much higher level heroes here. This is a big discrepancy in the overall levels of some of these heroes in this game. It's a 20k XP lead, just a 10k gold lead, but experience is really the name of the game nowadays, since experience almost directly translates into a gold lead when you look at the way the talents work. It's no longer just stat points when you're high level, it's like these high impact like pseudo items from talents. So having an XP advantage makes a big difference in Dota now.
Yeah, and I guess that is something that switches back over that much more quickly if you're starting to get the kills. You think back to when there was the big comeback mechanics and stuff. They didn't change the experience comeback mechanic as much as they did the net worth, so we'll see if they can make it work for themselves. Any big talents coming up that you're spotting that might be a game changer here at all, or is it all kind of mundane?
I don't think I think the way the talents work is, other than some of the level 25 ones, there's no like, there aren't game-changing talents, don't really exist until you look at level 25 ones, and even those, it's nothing like insane. So, I mean, for Wings, I think their approach is less like, oh, let's get a certain level or item. They need to think how they want to approach the team fights. Like, who are they initiating on? Who's going to be in the front? How do they outlast EG when EG have this big edge that they've got. How do you deal with Sumail, who's now got an Orchid to go with his Linken's? He can just blink in, kill the supports, and you haven't really got a good response to that. So we'll see if Wings can maybe use their smokes and try and catch EG by surprise is probably their best bet.
Yeah. And I mean, you got the Satanic up on Huskar. There's also a little bit of lifesteal that he has just inherently based off of the build that he went for, and so there's a lot of damage there. They are going to jump forward. Echo Slam is going to be there onto Arteezy, trying to find a bit more. The right clicks are coming in. He is going to go down, so a killing spree for Huskar, and looking to take a little bit more here. EG caught off guard.
Even with that magic resistance, not enough to save his life. That's the kind of pickoff there. You find that pickoff, and then suddenly your starts to work. That's the thing. Like Wings' lineup, the whole idea is that they want to be 5-man. They want to be grouped as 5, running down a lane, hitting buildings. But they haven't been able to do that except when they found a pickoff. So that's why they're looking to use this Earthshaker just to find a single kill, like find one blink Echo Slam, and turn that kill into a tower. That's where committing an Echo Slam to kill one hero is totally justifiable when you're suddenly taking objectives, which is what your lineup is desperately in need of. So Wings at least showing signs that they know how to get themselves back in this game, but they've got to keep making use of every single Echo Slam and keep finding these pickoffs.
That full team kill on both sides is starting to feel more and more relevant, and you talk about it being able to take objectives. That's the Drow Ranger strategy. It's starting to look like this could come together. That being said, do you need to sort of like focus down on the bottom tier 2 now and then go for the shrines, or do you just go for smoke ganks randomly to get kills? Can they slow siege a tower down?
I don't think the shrines are too big of a deal right now. Like, it's not like they're objectives which are doing too much as far as turning this game around. Drow, oh my gosh, gets bashed.
Oh, that really hurts. And well, movement in, yeah, they got her controlled, everything thrown out. The relocate in, it looks like they want to try and fight this. Venom ulti is down. That is going to be a dead Io, turning now onto the Queen of Pain. Oh god, triple kill for her, and it went from bad to worse. My goodness. That was not the way that Wings wanted it.
Questionable decision making from from a few players there. The relocate, Drow TP out, like you're kind of trapped there. And Sada does have level 3 bash. It was nice to get the first hit bash, but he would have had at least a couple right clicks to get that bash in. Oh boy.
Oh, Faith Beyond. Clint Eastwood, Mr. Sumail chasing. Did have to go for the Blade Mail, actually. I think he is going for that Blade Mail build with the lifesteal.
Yeah, he Echo Slammed the ground.
Don't worry, nobody saw, I promise.
I don't think he was trying to go for a kill there. I think he must have jammed the wrong key because he was probably just looking to TP home. As long as EG didn't see, he's okay. Doesn't matter if we cast this or if EG didn't see, they don't know.
That's right.
Maybe they felt the tremor, and Queen of Pain was in the neighborhood, so never know. But dang, Wings are they're not playing like TI winners right now, you know?
No.
These guys are some amazing Dota players, and they won a TI. But
you're
really
reassuring us. You're reassuring yourself too. It sounds like it. I promise they won a TI.
Dota is a very hard game to play. That's what this is a lesson in. Like, you can be the best Dota players in the world, and you still make really questionable mistakes, and even more so because you're on a new patch. You know, you're not comfortable. You look at the map, everything just feels different, and when everything feels different and you're not playing like in a relaxed, calm state, you make those kind of weird mistakes like we just saw, like the echo on the ground, the relocate into just feed. Smoke on smoke, here we go.
Oh, big old action coming through. They do get the stun, vacuum wall onto absolutely every damn person, and well, now they have the magnetize out as well, starting to drop them low. The purge is going to come off though, and able to jump away. That is going to be a dead Venomancer, it looks like, so at least one going their way, and now turning on to Sumail. He's in some trouble as well. Blade Mail coming out. I don't think it's going to be enough to keep him alive though, as they do have the Huskar on top of him, so now that's 2 dead for EG, a couple of cores for the Drow Ranger though, and I'll still control. Chowpy is there, they stun, they run, and looks like they'll get out.
Okay. I mean, that's a good fight for Wings, and they'll take that one. The Shadow Blade back from the Drow Ranger just meant kind of bought enough time, and they're not done yet. Okay.
Faith Beyond. Oh god, and now they bring in the IO. Iowa's going to go down too. Huskar is here trying to make this happen, and does look like with the vacuum, it's not going to be enough. They can't catch them out. They're not going to be able to find the kill. Chaupie might go down here, but they do have the shrine off to the side. Can they get there in time? The veil, or the pipe is there as well to keep them alive. And so, well, Darkseer on top as well now. No, he's going to go down. They do keep alive that Slardar, though.
So Husker with the new Satanic, I mean, that perhaps, I mean, we talked about what are the kind of game-changing talents or items or whatever. This Satanic might be it. It feels like this new Satanic is maybe going to make Husker, like, even a bit more viable. He's got level 21 now, so he's got a couple of his talents kicking in. He's just getting a whole lot stronger with the attack speed and all that, and they're dealing well with the Drow, but not the Husker.
They did just lose the Dazzle.
This could be bad. They're in the Roche pit. They don't want to get caught here.
Good decision to back out. That would have been pretty bad otherwise. Although you do have Drow and Huskar. There's a lot of damage if they want to go in and fight.
Are they going in? It's risky. Shaker's back soon.
Alright, and he does have the TP. Shaker is TPing to the shrine. Still fine. Amp damage is on top of Huskar, as well as Roshan.
Roche fight with shrines right there. Super hype, man. You have a TP access point for both teams. You can always TP to Roshan where the shrines are, because until you lose all your tier 2s. That's like the one reason to take out these shrines.
Yeah.
And then you've also got the heal right by the Roche pit as well, so it makes Roche fights a lot more action-packed now.
Well, they do have the dominated creep now going in, Mud Golem. Everybody sees what's going on here in the Roche pit. He has an open slot. He is going to get stunned though. Still a BKB, but it looks like he's just going to be able to do it. Jump forward. Oh, snatching the Aegis. Well played as well. And it does look like they're going to end up losing a life on the Earth Spirit. Well, Echo Slam also going to connect, so that's another down. This is Slardar out of there, and this team fight looks like it might actually go into the favor of Wings. Everybody's starting to drop low. It's not enough damage right now, and silenced up. Is Sumail going to end up falling? It looks like instead they're going to turn their sights onto Vanomancer, trying to bring him down. Able to relocate out. Huskar running through the wall. Satanic has already been used. He's taken a ton of damage. He is going to fall. They don't get it, and EG able to turn the fight back around. Iowa's relocating back in, and that went pretty bad for them. It was looking good for a second, but not enough sustain.
Yeah, once the Husker got left alone, it was kind of all over at that point. He didn't get the Aegis at the start as well. It was a nicely timed initiation from EG, and they've actually found a Shaker as well.
Oh no.
Sumail with the predictive play, but immediately get the kill.
Okay. He's just gonna walk away.
It's gonna be okay, and it will be the Octarine Blade Mail. You kind of mentioned it. It's the Boston Major all over again, except he's not Alchemist. He's Queen of Pain, but it functions in the same way where you don't want to hit this guy when he's Blade Mailing. He'll take more damage than you deal.
It's a weird little interaction. It's just like so much bonus H or regen. So you literally does. I mean, for anybody that's watching, it's 95%. What is it? Spell steal, life steal. So basically, whenever somebody attacks you with Blade Mail, as long as it doesn't one-shot you, you will heal from it. It's so weird.
They're definitely not doing enough burst damage to one-shot him with Drow and Husker as well. There's lots of like constant right-click damage.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have the... Well, he's got decent armor as well with this. Like he's with the Blade Mail, like it boosts up your armor against the physical damage, so it's gonna be a big problem in these upcoming fights. But well, it takes. We've seen this Wings lineup. We're kind of in that late game stage where they've held on and managed to put together enough farm on Husker that he can be a threat. We'll have an AC soon as well. Earthshaker's been very high impact with what we've seen out of him. He's got a BKB now as well, so he's got a way out of the Queen of Pain Orchid. Doesn't have to worry as much about some of the Earth Spirit and the Venomancer shenanigans, so this is not a done deal just yet as far as EG's Game 2 goes.
Yeah, it's definitely feel like Wings have clawed their way back into it, and I'm kind of wondering how you close out this game for EG. The only option it feels like they really have is just constantly sieging. I mean, when level 25 comes around with the Plague Wards, does that change things up at all? If that's what he wants to go for?
It's not going to suddenly... It's not like you flip a switch and suddenly it's like, oh, Venom's level 25, let's go win the game. But it does... It's like all these small things that just slowly start adding up when you get enough of them. So we'll see how... I mean, for EG, again, it's going to come down to winning that big fight. The Roshan fight wasn't a one-sided enough victory that they could turn it into any tier 2 towers, and they're just trying to play on the wing side of the map. They're looking for that next big fight, trying to use the vision that they get from like the Plague Wards to scout stuff out. They've got a Silver Edge on Arteezy. He's going to probably transition into even more right-click damage at this point. Probably thinking like he can't just play this pure magic damage Venom in the late game. They've got they've got no right click really, like between Queen of Pain and Venom, where you're looking at all nuke damage.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can. Some people talk about it transitioning over, but they don't have the items to make it happen yet. They do find the pick off on the IO, and that's a nice little gold swing into their favor as well. Maybe this is going to embolden them enough to try and go for some more heavy siege. Looks like wings are sort of grouped up again. I mean, do they need to wait for IO to be up and online?
Yeah, at least for defending an outer tower. It seems reckless to try and defend a tower when you don't have that relocate save if someone like a Husker or a Drow gets initiated on. You can't guaranteed save them. You can try counter initiate with an Earthshaker, but that's your best bet. And speaking of Earthshaker,
yep,
yeah, he's got a crit. All right. Alright. Thumb again. He's going for that minus 2 second totem cooldown, I hope, with this. 500 HP is tempting, but you've already got 2.5k. You've already got a lot of HP. Get that short totem cooldown. Down to down to 3 seconds. That sounds high impact to me.
That's really cool stuff. I mean, not only just like the extra added round of stuns, but you can talk about it. He's really going to start to hit for a lot of damage here. Do you think this is one of the games where maybe he thinks about going Bloodthorn, or do you just finish off the Daedalus with this?
Let's see. Against the Quap, it's definitely good, but you've got to find a way to break the link. It's what you've got. You can blink in with a totem and then Yules into Bloodthorn. So, yeah, Bloodthorn. Seems like a slightly better idea than the Daedalus, but again, like they're both like it's a more expensive option, so it's more like can you get up to that point?
Right.
But we'll see how that works. I mean, it looks like wings. As far as like the level, when we talk about the level 25 talents being the kind of crazy ones, they've got some crazy ones. The poison touch cooldown down to 1 second, spammable poison touch. Like that to me is one of the more insane. You've still got a T2 tower up. They haven't taken it mid, so that means that shrine is still there for the Roshan. At this point, the T2 tower makes a difference because and the shrine does because of the Roshan. But EG haven't been able to find opportunities or openings to get in there for it. We'll see how they transition. Like that's the next big question for me is like, what does EG do to go into late game with this lineup? Because this is not a conventional late game lineup. These are not heroes that you normally think of as being able to go D60 minutes and carry, like on a Veno Queen of Pain.
Right.
Maybe as like a 2-position hero, like with another carry on your team, but with no real obvious late game carry. We'll see what EG do.
Oh man, Slardar, you might be in a little bit of trouble, mister. There's the Echo Slam combo together. Gets the Yule Scepter off. And a counter Yule Scepter. There's the Fissure. Going to get the Enchant Totem. Needs a bit more damage. Is he going to have it? BKB popped as well. And, well, tries to chase him down. Now the rest of the team is here. Oh, great Guardian Greaves. TPing out. Not going to happen. They take down the Earthshaker. Oh, that's got it. That's just a punch in the gut.
Yep. He commits the Echo and everything for that. I guess he must have told his teammates, like, don't bother relocating, I got this solo. Because there was a relocate up, and I can't imagine that was like a call not. If it was a call not to make it, I imagine Slider. It was because the Earthshaker thought he could kill the Slider by himself. Just didn't quite have the damage for it. That was an unexpected outcome.
I mean, and you see that Slardar walking in all those creeps. It's too tempting to not go for it, but man, oh man, did he pay a price for it. We got BKB almost done for the Huskar. This is also super relevant. You got some silver edges. Do you think? How do you feel like these next couple of team fights are going to work out? Do you think that EG need to start to try and force something?
I think EG could start becoming in this tough spot with Huskar and his level of farm. Like this Huskar, I think, can fight very effectively into the Veno, into the Queen of Pain. If he gets on top of them, they're in a lot of trouble. That's where Veno definitely wants to hold him to this Hurricane Pike to try and get that Huskar off of him. But like a Queen of Pain, if you get chain stun with a Huskar on top of you, will take a lot of damage. So Huskar to me is going to be a big problem hero in these upcoming fights. Now with the BKB, they immediately smoke up. They want to take the fight to EG, knowing there's a Roshan up as well. So a one fight could immediately turn into Aegis and Cheese this time.
Oh, they're actually just going to walk right into it. Do EG realize that this is going on? I mean, you've got to place at least one of these wards in here, and they do. They spot out what's going on now. The roll-in could come with the Magnetize. They already have the weave down. They jump forward. Are going to be able to get a crush onto two. Vacuum Wall going to connect as well. BKB's popping all over the place, and it does look like Huskar trying to chase them down on the other side of the fight. Faith Beyond is there. Throws out the Echo Slam. Going to be able to control a couple. Fissure is still available in a second if they wanted to go for it. Venomancer turning, and, well, it does look like with the Sonic Wave coming out, everybody is dropping low from Wings. Still, the two big ones are in the middle of all of them, and, well, trying to turn now. The Satanic is doing its work, trying to chase down that Darkseer. Buybacks coming in as well from the Veno. They are going to be able to chase Huskar, just jumping all over the damn place. Vacuum back again. He needs to heal back up from this. Turns, fights, takes down the Darkseer. Great play. A triple kill for him, but everybody dead for Wings. Can they buy back?
I don't think they're too late. Roche is too low, so it's not. They've got buyback on 3. They're not going to buy back to stop Roche, but they may have to buy back. Yeah, I mean, again, Venocop, they don't push fast. These are not pushing heroes, but man, oh man, that was some team fight. Unfortunately, I mean, Huskar didn't get that. He did a lot in that fight. Don't get me wrong. Huskar was the hero of that fight as far as Wings are concerned, but he didn't get any value out of his BKB. He went onto the Slider with his ultimate and his BKB, but Slider had a BKB of his own. Slider just BKB sprinted out of there and couldn't actually be brought down. So it felt like Huskar did not really find the ideal target to go on in that fight.
Oh man, and now the jump forward. They do have the shallow grave silence for the moment, but Io, he is actually just going to TP out. All right, why not? Make
Great
that
TP.
play.
Yeah. TP from your racks to your fountain because you've got to, I guess.
Yeah. And they only end up getting one barracks. They are going to struggle to take down all of these wards. Do you think that that's enough of structural damage to sort of give EG a little bit of that breathing room? You were talking about them being a little bit worried about going into the later stages. Are they in a good spot here now?
Yeah, that's it. That gets in the tier 2 tower now, so they can take out the shrines as well. So they'll get more money from killing the shrines. They haven't killed the one by Roach, but that'll probably be an objective they get to soon. So it feels like with one melee racks, they've still got an Aegis, so they can look to go take another fight fairly soon. They'll be looking to go.
Top lane, relocate. They are going to be able to catch Clint Eastwood, and that is a kill. Blade Mill not going to be able to do enough there. Going back up.
That's the Shaker threat. This has been a very good game from Faith Beyond, even with some of the clownier stuff he's done as well. I mean, I say that right after, well, shortly after he made that misplay at top where he didn't kill the Slatter, but he's been the playmaker. He's been under pressure to go out looking for these kills, and more often than not, he's come up big. If not for this Shaker, this game would have been over a long time ago. So definitely hats off to Faith Beyond for keeping them in the game, even with some of the mistakes that go with that role that you're in.
Yeah. Well, a couple of things. We have seen the buyback from Artesian. He's the only one to use it recently. So if they somehow manage to bring him down soon, that might be enough to change their tides into their favor. Huskar, in the meantime, is going back for an Aghanim Scepter. What do you think about this pickup for him? I mean, he has it queued up at least. We don't know if that's what he's going to go for.
Yeah. So the Ags is what the cooldown, right? Yeah, 4-second cooldown. And did he get the talent? Okay, he got the attack range. Didn't go for the life break cast range, but okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the Ag Scepter, but in theory it should be good. You know, he wants to be able to move around the fight and not get kited too much. So.
Yeah. Well, it goes down to the 4-second duration and also increases the damage dealt from 36% all the way up to 67%. So that's percentage of health, and it says magical damage. There's a lot of magical resistance, I think, on this team. They did have a pipe up and stuff.
Yeah. Since it is all magic damage, but even so, you're talking about magic resistance against a very big number of damage. So it's a very big number is still going to be a pretty big number after the magic resistance kicks in. This is where someone like Venno is pretty happy that he went for the magic resistance talent when he's versing the Husker life break. Speaking of which, it is a butterfly pickup for Arteezy's Venno, so he's well and truly transitioning into that right click late game Venomancer.
256 right now, and I mean there's a lot of damage that he's able to put out, particularly if he does get all of those wards down. Meantime, Dazzle's been left pretty poor, just as the Guardian Greaves. Haven't checked in on him in a while. Any other big level 25s coming?
Well, Slaughter's the closest who's not 25, so he gets plus 10% bash or 20 strength. I don't know. I think either's all right. Neither's like game changing.
No.
The 10% bash sounds tempting, but I think in reality the 20 strength is probably slightly better. Again, I don't even know these players. Everyone's going to give you a different answer there.
Right.
Just being able to stay alive enough. The hero's role is to get more crushes off. He's not a right-clicking. He's a full position. He's a support whose job it is to use amp and use crush. So he does that more often by being tankier. So if you're thinking about your role in a fight, that's where the strength makes more sense than the bash. But we'll see. 35% bash is nothing to be laughed at.
Yeah, absolutely. It does look like he's setting up here onto the Drow Ranger. I don't know if he can really make a move on his own. This feels like it might be a bit too bold. I guess he's just waiting.
He's just chilling.
Oh.
Knows his team's making a move towards bottom, so he's waiting for them to get closer, and then he'll make his jump.
Runs into the IO. Okay, so they have been able to find him. Right click's coming in. It does look like we're going to get a TP from the Earthshaker, and, well, he is going to be up front and center, so they take down the IO, and now trying to run away. Ice in some trouble. He's going to go down as well. And two heroes, the supports brought down by EG. Really crisp play.
Yeah, very well done, having Slider in a good position, and he just makes the call for his team, like, head on down, we've got this, and they find the two supports who do not have buyback, and this is one of those things with late game Dota, your support, you're not going to have buyback, but you also have these long respawn times. 40 seconds is a big window for EG to do some damage here.
Well,
I love how you can... The crazy thing with the backpack is you get to the enemy bases, and we've got these heroes with no boots. You're pushing high ground, you don't really need boots. Arteezy's boots are in his backpack. Same for the Queen of Pain. This is like no boots Dota right now.
Oh, well, and Clint Eastwood jumps up front and center. Is going to be able to start dealing the damage. They do get the break applied onto the Huskar. BKB Pop is going to get taken as well. No, he doesn't get it off in time. He ends up going down. No buyback for 95 seconds. They take down the Earthshaker. They take down the Drow Ranger. That should just be about game, I think. No way to hold against this. He needs the Echo Slam of life, but...
He's gone for the Deso too, so he's got the right-click damage, but he does not have the 1v5 potential right now. He needs the Husker and the Drow, and he just doesn't have it.
I don't know exactly what happened there with the now silenced up. Faith Beyond is going to go down here. They lift up with the Yule Scepter, so keep him alive, but doesn't even get off the Echo Slam. They're diving Fountain. They don't give a damn. They're taking the lives, and, well, everybody's dead, and EG are going to be our winners.
It was a good couple games from EG. Really strong laning stage. Again, I mean, you asked earlier, like, what do you take away from watching EG play? And it is like they're drafting and picking heroes and playing the game to win the lanes. And that's, I mean, it's like sticking to the basics. Win your lanes and then figure out how you win the game from there. Like, they did not have the best heroes to scale into the late game, but they had a big enough advantage in terms of early game farm that they got map control. They were able to take Roshan. They were able just to outmaneuver Wings because of the early game advantage that they got.
Well, we're taking a look at some of these graphs. You can see that it was looking like there was an opportunity, an opening a little bit earlier on where they might have been able to bring it back, but that last pickoff really just stuck the nail in the coffin. Gods, we're looking now at a finals that's coming up. We do have Wings as well as DC that have been eliminated. How do you feel about the newbie versus EG matchup that we're going to have tomorrow? Do you think that this is going to be a close one, or is there one side that you're favoring?
I think slightly favoring EG. They look like just a really strong team. They did so at Boston. I mean, they lost in the main event to OG, who are the eventual champions. They've got a playstyle which is very early game focused, which I think could perhaps throw Newbie off a bit, since Newbie shine more in the mid game when they're 5-manning. But Newbie also draft heroes that normally have pretty strong lanes. So I think Newbie will look at these games and be like, okay, we need to make sure we do well in the lanes. We set things up so that we don't get overrun early on, so that we can fight EG when we want to 5-man in the mid game. So I'll give a slight edge to EG, but I think it's very likely to go 3 games.
Well, looking forward to seeing it, everybody. Be sure you tune in again tomorrow. China Top LAN Finals. It's the Grand Finals, best of 3. All comes down to this. I've been Lyrical, Gods as well. Hope that you've been enjoying the broadcast. Sorry again for a bit of delay and lag every now and then. We did start at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and it's currently 5:30 a.m., and we've watched 2 best of 3s. So it does occasionally happen. Any final thoughts before we sign off here?
No, looking forward to the games tomorrow. It's been like a nice little teaser onto what this new patch is going to offer. So I'm glad this tournament is happening and getting to see some great Dota players. So yeah, tune in tomorrow, everyone. Tomorrow for the finals.
All right, well, stick around, everybody. We'll sign off now. Lyrical again and Gods. China Top is the LAN, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for more great Dota 2 action.
Glad this tournament
情况啊，明天呢将会有 CS:GO 以及这个魔兽争霸和这个 Dota 2的3个项目的决赛会在明天决出。那么也之后还会有颁奖典礼，所以呢，希望这个支持中国队的这些粉丝和玩家们都可以到现场。让这个一级战队到舞台中间来合个影。
He's like, yeah, you guys gotta go out there, talk to the people. Go talk to the people. Go talk to the people.
好。